WWE reportedly makes an excellent offer to keep Chad Gable. However, there are those in AEW that are pushing very hard for the company to sign the former tag team champion. Speaking of contracts, Penta Miedo, his contract is up with All Elite Wrestling soon, and reportedly he's open to exploring his options. Rhea Ripley, she's set to miss SummerSlam and could require surgery on her shoulder injury. Tony Khan reveals who he books All Elite Wrestling for. There is uncertainty reportedly surrounding the match that's upcoming between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. When is it going to take place? Plus more details on Natalya's WWE contract. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about Chad Gable and his WWE future, because WWE reportedly is working hard to keep one of its rising stars. Of course, 2024 continues to be a wild year for wrestling contracts, and the chaos shows no sign of slowing down. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre have already signed new monster contracts with WWE, while AEW made Mercedes Moné the highest paid woman in history of professional wrestling back in March. To add to the intrigue, Becky Lynch has let her contract expire and seems content to take a hiatus while enjoying her free agent status. Natalya is also on the brink of free agency. She's yet to sign a new deal. We'll talk about that later on in the video. But in an equally confusing situation, it's previously been reported that Chad Gable's contract with WWE expires on June 7th, despite the star enjoying the best singles run of his career. Gable has also been booked to challenge Sami Zayn for the WWE Intercontinental Championship at Clash at the Castle, which takes place after his WWE contract is reported to have expired. Now, writing in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reports that Gable is wanted by both WWE and AEW, with his current employer offering him a, quote, excellent deal. He said, quote, both AEW and WWE have interest in Gable. The only thing we've heard is that WWE has made him an excellent offer to keep him. AEW is not allowed legally to make an offer until his WWE deal expires. He does have key people in AEW pushing him to Tony Khan. Gable would have to allow his contract to expire to get an offer. He's also in the middle of his best singles push of his career right now. Now, just to kind of expand on that report from Meltzer right there, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful has tweeted out today saying, quote, I can confirm I've also heard about AEW having internal discussions regarding Chad Gable. I don't know what the current status of his contract is or how those talks with WWE have gone. So what do you expect the outcome to be when it comes to Chad Gable? Do you think he's going to stay with WWE? Do you think he'll let his contract expire and he gets an offer from AEW? How do you think this one plays out? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, Penta Miedo, as I mentioned, contracts, that's the key thing right now in professional wrestling. Now, on June 6th, it was reported that Penta Miedo's AEW contract would expire sometime in August or September. To add to the intrigue, WWE holds an interest in signing the star, making him yet another high-profile name, potentially heading into free agency. Now, Penta and his brother Rey Fenix joined AEW in 2019 and went on to become World Tag Team Champions and thirds of the Trios World Champions alongside Pac. Now, there is no word on Rey Fenix's current contract status. The assumption is time would have been added on due to injury when it comes to him. Now, writing in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that Tony Khan does remain confident of keeping Penta. However, there are others who believe the star will be looking to take advantage of the impending free agency. He said, quote, Penta was unhappy some time back when he wasn't allowed on shows of CMLL talent. Hold that thought, because we'll talk about that in just a second. He continues by saying, but to a degree, that looks to have been worked out. Tony Khan indicated he was confident Penta would stay with the promotion. Others have said Penta was looking at buying the rights to his name to make sure he could take the gimmick to WWE if necessary. The belief in other circles is Penta is looking at exploring his options when his current deal expires. So when it comes to Penta, what do you think is going to happen? Let me know your thoughts about that prediction as well in the comment section below. Now, I spoke about the CMLL AAA AAA situation that Penta was reportedly unhappy with. We've got a bit of an update when it comes to the updated policy when it comes to AEW's international partners. Now, this week's episode of AEW Dynamite saw wrestlers from CMLL and AAA feature, with it being reported that Tony Khan had been able to smooth over the relationship that previously prevented such an occurrence. With AEW and New Japan Forbidden Door also featuring wrestlers from international partnerships, details of the updated policy was revealed in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter. Exploring the policy, which is still subject to negotiations, Dave Meltzer wrote, quote, "The updated policy is that, and things are subject to negotiations with AEW, CMLL and New Japan, seems to be that people who have not worked for AAA of late but are Mexican born will be allowed to appear on shows with CMLL talent. The belief is that will include Forbidden Door. We were told that because Phoenix hasn't wrestled for AAA in such a long time, that his appearing on the show was fine. Roosh was in a different situation, as he was on the show but didn't wrestle. It is confirmed that unless things change, that Commander, since he holds the AAA Cruiserweight title, would not be allowed to work on shows with CMLL talent, nor would El Hijo del Vikingo when he is healthy. If things are consistent, Bandido, when he's back, should fit into the category with Phoenix." So we'll have to wait and see indeed what happens when it comes to that, but possibly that could be smoothed out, and maybe that might help when it comes to Penta exploring his options in the future. Now, let's talk about Rhea Ripley. A bit of an update when it comes to the former Women's World Champion, and it's not a good one. Coming out of WrestleMania 40, WWE was struck with a bit of an injury crisis, with several big names forced to take time out of the ring. With Charlotte Flair and CM Punk already out of action, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Dominic Mysterio, Asuka, and Rhea Ripley have all taken time to heal their respective injuries. With regard to Ripley, she was forced to vacate her Women's World Championship due to a shoulder injury, something attributed to an attack from Liv Morgan in storyline. Now, there's been little concrete information about the star's recovery, but at present, she seems set to miss several upcoming big shows. Writing in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer noted that Ripley is trying to avoid surgery, but going under the knife remains a possibility. Furthermore, the star is not scheduled for SummerSlam on August 3rd, which seems to indicate she will miss at least Clash at the Castle and Money in the Bank, as well as the annual Summer Spectacular. WWE's next premium live event following the event in Cleveland is Bash in Berlin on August 31st. Meltzer said, quote, "Ripley is rehabbing her shoulder rather than having surgery. Right now, she's not scheduled back for SummerSlam, but we were also told if she heals it faster than expected, or if the storyline changes to where they need her for an appearance, it's still possible. If rehab can't mend the shoulder enough, she could need surgery." Now, in her absence, it's been reported that Rhea Ripley was backstage at AEW Double or Nothing recently. The former champion was said to be visiting and supporting her fiance, Buddy Matthews. Of course, we're getting more details when it comes to Rhea Ripley's status. We'll let you know in an upcoming video. Now, Tony Khan, he's been active on social media once more over the last 24 hours. He had another active evening on social media last night, posting to X regarding his booking philosophy for the wrestling promotion. According to Khan, he has a very specific audience in mind when putting together shows. As you can see right there on the screen right now, he says, quote, "I book wrestling for the sickos because that's what I am and that's who I care about." Now, it's, you know, some people could see it as a negative term. Nowadays, it could be seen as a positive term, certainly, when it comes to some kind of perverse joy in something that's a bit bizarre. Now, Khan seemed to be indicating that he books AEW with hardcore wrestling fans like himself in mind, which has been a common criticism lobbed at the promotion by some. Along with that, Khan wasn't quite done after his first post, continuing to promote his company late into the night by saying the following, quote, "Wake up the bots and tell them that we're having fun over here in AEW." Now, the CEO was seemingly referencing his previous claims that there is an army of bots programmed to defend WWE on social media. Khan then followed up by advertising some of the matches AEW has coming up, as well as promoting an informative video package on the episode of AEW Collision for several CMLL stars. Of course, one including a match that involves Mercedes Moné next week on AEW Dynamite. Now, AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes. We know we're going to be getting a WWE Backlash France rematch between the two, but when? That is the question. Now, on the May 31st episode of SmackDown, AJ Styles appeared ready to retire, having come up short in his latest bid to become a world champion. However, his retirement speech at the end of the show was nothing but a ruse, and he brutally attacked Cody Rhodes instead. Rhodes and Styles met for the undisputed WWE Championship at Backlash, and the American Nightmare won, but Styles has made it clear he wants a rematch. Reporting in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer said that while Rhodes and Styles are destined to meet again, the location is yet to be decided. Meltzer notes that the plan was for the pair to wrestle at Clash in the Castle, but the match could be held off until Money in the Bank. He said, quote, "Obviously, there is a Cody Rhodes vs AJ Styles rematch coming off the May 31st angle, where Styles pretended to retire and then brought Rhodes into the ring to turn on him. As of early in the week, the plan was for this match to be on June 15, that being Clash at the Castle, and to be announced on June 7, but it could also be held off until Toronto. I guess either way, we're probably going to find out tonight, indeed, what is going to happen when it comes to AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes." And finally, an update when it comes to Natalya and her WWE contract future, as many people have been wondering what's going on when it comes to if she's going to be staying with the company or not. Now, it was reported in May that Natalya's WWE contract was soon set to expire, and she hadn't re-signed what WWE had offered to her. Dave Meltzer has provided a new update on Natalya's contract negotiations in WWE in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, writing, quote, "Regarding Natalya, whose deal is up soon, nothing has changed. Her deal is coming up, is due soon, and she hasn't signed the new offered deal." Now, Natalya recently commented that with a staggering of over 1,500 matches under her belt, she's in the best shape of her life. Now, a further update comes from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, saying that as of now, WWE and Natalya are still in talks. As I mentioned, recently it had been revealed by Fightful that Natalya's WWE contract was set to expire in June, despite the fact she'd been recently heavily featured on NXT and looks to be headed in a new direction on Raw. Fightful Sean Ross Sapp confirmed that as of Thursday, Natalya and WWE have yet to come to terms on a new contract, but the two sides have been in talks. Now, for those asking about outside interest, there is expected to be outside interest from a variety of companies globally for a number of roles in addition to wrestling. Now, Fightful have heard several inquiries about the possibility of Natalya working the Owen Hart Cup tournament and was told it was plausible depending on when the tournament starts. Now, Fightful have not heard anything on the AEW side as to whether that's expected or not. Again, we'll have to wait to see what happens with that one. But Natalya's deal is up over the next few weeks. Her husband, TJ Wilson, is also one of the most highly regarded producers in wrestling. So what do you think happens with Natalya? Do you think she leaves WWE? Do you think she stays with the company? Do you think she ends up in AEW and competes at the Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament? Let me know your prediction for that one too. But there you go, guys. Latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.